That is a beautiful.
Hi, everybody. Isn't that great? I love that. Um, I got to get the copy of the license for the music from because YouTube hits me with a copyright share every time I use it. I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, whatever. They're getting pennies on the dollar. It's not like I'm making that much money. It's if they're that desperate that they need my 15 cents worth,
Yeah.
so be it.
Love that.
And hello, 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 everybody. For those of you who don't know who this lovely lady is next to me, this is Debra Zachau, an awesome tarot reader.
Oh,
She's
thank
even
you.
got her very own deck out, which that's what I forgot to pull out was your cards.
And I don't have it with me either. I
Okay,
do.
so Clarity Tarot is the name of her deck, and you can go get it on, I think it's Amazon, Etsy,
Not Etsy,
not
Amazon,
Etsy, Amazon.
and then
Her
Decode
book,
Tarot.
Decode Tarot, which is a fabulous book. I got the honor of being a pre-screener and reading it before she published, and so it was like, God, this is awesome. I learned so much from it. It just kind of opened up my vision of looking at the cards that I,
Gives you
as a
permission.
newer card reader, I didn't ever think to think that way when
Mm,
looking at a card. And then she's got her own website. She does readings. She teaches classes. She is a jack of all trades when it comes to this business and very, very good at it.
thank you.
Arlene says, I have her cards. I'm like, yeah, I do too.
Yay. Yes, thank you.
Um, so
Someone else said they
wait,
have a book, and I wonder
now
what
it's going to bug
co-
me because I forgot to take them out.
oh, he says I got my book and have the perfect family. Oh yeah, because that's the when life knocks you off, you
Yeah,
have
yeah, yeah. Got that one too. That's that the other book. And these are her cards. They're called Clarity Tarot.
arrow.
And, and it comes with a really great guidebook. You see, I got tabbies stuck in it.
I
That
love
just kind of helps. It's kind of like a mini version of her Decode Tarot, or this is volume one, I guess you could say.
right.
It
Exactly.
really goes into a lot of explanation with the cards and their positions, I guess,
And combinations of
hierarchy,
words.
the
The
hierarchy of
yeah.
what they mean. Um, really interesting reading. And then let me see.
Look at her. She
These
is
are the cards. This is like the front, and this is the back. And it's they're really good cards. I
nice.
like to use those. And but they're not Halloweeny, so I didn't take them out
No,
today.
not today. It's a
Which
Halloween
is
time.
why I didn't have them out to begin with.
That's awesome.
And it's like, okay, it's Halloween time. I can take out all my Halloween decks I got in the house. Well, most of them. I didn't
Oh,
take all of them.
thank you
I
so
got
much.
my Jack O' Lantern Tarot,
Hey,
which is a
cool.
great deck. And then I got the Horror Tarot. And this is a really cool deck, but it's really hard to see on screen. It's hard to see in real life because it's, um, let me pull one out. Open them up anyway, I guess. Uh, that one comes with a really good book that goes into a, because some of the meanings on these cards are not like the normal readings. Some people do that with their tarot cards. So it's like the back is very plain, nothing fancy, but the cards themselves are like very kind of Art Nouveau.
Yeah, I
Um,
like.
and then the writing is all in red red foil, so it's like I have to get it at just the right angle under the light to see what it says.
You know what
Let's
would
see.
be fun with those kind of cards? Now,
Now this
you
is
know what would
another
be really
one.
fun to get to know your cards. Get out some of those pens that shine, the shiny pens, and
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
meditate on them, outline the cards, the images on the cards, and play with it that way. Everyone has an extra deck somewhere, and
Oh
there's
yeah, I've got
do some
I've
fun
got
things with
several
that.
of those. So um, So anyway, it's been forever and a day since I had Deborah on.
Yes.
There's been so much going on in my world, and it's like I don't get to catch her on her weekly live with Layla every Friday night.
Yeah.
I used to be able to catch them live every week.
You're
And
so
now there's a lot of times when I'm obligated elsewhere.
sure.
And so a lot of times it's just watching a replay and I don't
Well,
get
I
to
appreciate that because
yeah,
that's like the only one I've got going on because I've been writing another book. So
yeah.
I
And
haven't been on
Layla
my
is a phenomenal astronomer, astrology
sure.
expert. And so they do the astrology with the numbers, with the readings and the cards. And
Yep.
it's a really good show. It's every Friday night at
6
what time?
Pacific, 6
So that's
p.m. Pacific.
6
So
Pacific, 7 Mountain, 8 Central, 9 Eastern.
9
So
Eastern.
there you
Yeah.
go.
Every Friday.
And yeah, Acadian, my Cajun cousin here, said that some find it easier to get a deck that has all the basic information on them. It's a really good way to learn. I mean, it's like most of the cards, yeah, I look at them, I know what they are, and every now and again I just go blank.
Yeah, that's why I
I
developed the ones that have the love and money thing. Because when I was reading on the platform, it's either
just
love or
came in
money.
today. I got a new deck that I saw. I don't know, Instagram, TikTok, somewhere like that. It was like $8 for the deck. I thought, oh, what the hell? It's called Learning Tarot Cards.
Oh,
And so
nice.
it's like the regular Rider-Waite picture, but you get all the other symbolism and the meanings.
Yeah,
You get the
fun.
reversed meaning if it comes upside down. And so I haven't even used these yet. I just got them when I checked the mail last night. I was like, oh, yeah.
Those are really helpful because when I was working one call after another, one reading after another, I don't care how seasoned you are, you're going to go blank. All of a sudden, you throw cards down and say, what the heck is this sorcery? Right? And I don't know where I'm at. So when you have a few words on it, like I put on this, so if the topic is money or love, then you have these key words under there saying, okay, I'm back on track.
And see, this is my normal deck I use when I'm doing political readings. And it's got the meanings, upright, reversed. It's got the earth's air, fire, whatever it tells you what decan it is, the astrology sign it falls under. It gives you the ruin symbol that goes with it. It also has a breakdown of the numerological meaning of that numbered card, which is really great. That I just threw on the floor. And then it doesn't want to get picked up. So, and this one I use when I'm doing my political readings just because I don't have to think about it. I can just go with, if I look at it and I go, what was that card meaning again?
I know.
I don't have to stop and look it up. And it's just because I tend to use this one just for political readings. It seems to be really keyed in to that topic. And so kind of, I guess I set the intention with them when I started using them. And of course, the very simple tarot cheat sheet.
That's a good one.
And I got that off of Pinterest. Somebody had done it up in a chart, and I thought, oh, they even color coded it. They were speaking my language, and I'm good with color coding. And so I always have that out just in case I pull something and I just go blank on it. I can go, oh yeah, okay, that's what that means.
Yeah, right.
And it just helps. So don't be afraid to look at your cheat sheet when you're reading if you don't remember. Now sometimes Spirit gives you a different meaning for that card. that has nothing to do whatsoever with what that card technically always means. They'll give you a different meaning for it, or the picture will say something different depending on the topic. You just got to learn kind of go with it.
Now, I have an agreement with Spirit that whatever the card is, I'm going to move into and understand from that perspective, because every intuitive, you get a question, you intuit the answer, but I want to make sure that I'm in my intuition and not my imagination. So my agreement with Spirit is that the cards are going to course correct me into the right position, and it works every single time when I trust it. But I can go off, everyone can.
Oh yeah, we all do it. I mean,
Creativity.
and I don't know about most people, but I can't memorize 77 cards times 2 because you got the reversals then. Normally I don't do reversals, but Spirit likes to throw us a little, ball out of center court there and say, I turned this one over for you. And you're like, okay, they were all the same way. How did this one come out upside down? But it happens. So
yeah, it could just be a placeholder, and don't even read the what's going on with the YouTube glitch.
YouTube glitch?
Blue. I'm sorry. I have to put my glasses on. The last, so it's a YouTube glitch. Good Zoom. So is everyone hearing us okay? Seeing us? Because I just got a new modem from my computer because I was being kicked off.
Oh, I went to do something this morning on the computer, and it kept wanting me to put in a Windows password. And I'm like, what Windows password?
That might be malware.
Not a password, a PIN. It wanted the Windows PIN.
No.
I'm like, what the hell is this? So we got my son. I said, okay, I don't know what it's doing. You go figure it out. And he come back. He's like, yeah, just click that off if it comes back up again.
Yeah.
It might be for whatever reason your system is like jumping backwards into who knows what. That's somewhere down the line. It got downloaded. Then we'll have to go in and look for it.
That's right.
It was not a store-bought computer I have. It's a special built. He built it for me. So
neat.
It does things that normal ones don't do unless you pay a lot of extra, because he knew what I would be using it for. So he made sure I had the upgraded graphic cards and sound cards and all that kind of stuff. So, and normally if you go buy one off the shelf, it's not going to have as much of that stuff without paying a lot of extra money to have that particular thing added to your system. And so probably 75% of the stuff in my computer were cast-offs from his computer, because he was building himself a new computer to do all the music stuff he does. And so he was like, well, these parts are still really good. Let's upgrade you and build you a new computer too. And I'm like, yeah, that works for me. So I get all of his cast-offs, which are usually they're not that old and they're still like brand new, because he's so funny. He's funny about his equipment. So and I got all the bells and whistles. Yeah, most of the time. Sometimes the bells and whistles go like really off kilter, and it's like, I want to come back to normal here, please. YouTube glitch for account names. Okay, I haven't run into any problems that I'm aware of, but I'll keep an eye out for it if I see anybody having trouble with it. So I'm just kind of skimming back up, making sure I haven't missed a question or a request. You don't do political readings, do you, Deborah?
I do.
You do? Okay. I don't know why I couldn't remember. I was like, I couldn't remember if you did. So whatever y'all want to ask, just ask.
Yeah.
And we'll go from there. And then after I'm through with Debra, I'll be hopping on to another live stream with Dr. Ann. So then we get into the ETs and quantum physics and all that.
Yay.
Yeah, she's like
Well,
really the quantum physics of stuff and everything. And it's like I sit and listen to her talk, and I'm like, I so don't understand what you're saying, but it sounds good to me.
Well, I got to tell you, I saw that movie Lucy. It's on.
Yeah.
It's free. It's free on Amazon Prime. So I did
Yeah.
watch it, and it was remarkable. I'll have to watch it again and look a little closer because it blew my mind. Yeah.
That's a great movie. Yeah, with Scarlett Johansson and Morgan Freeman was in it. And if y'all have not seen Lucy, it's a mind blower, especially
Yeah,
at the
it
end.
does. I loved the fact that at the very end she got to meet the other Lucy, which I won't say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Oh,
something that I always felt was that really spoke to me when I saw the movie the first time. I was like, oh, they got it right. Was that everything's based on time, but not in the linear concept of time. It's
exactly. And because I had the visual, I was able to connect. I know the ninth dimension is where time folds. That's where the Akasha is. That's where you go, and it's
right.
It's not linear. And then I thought, oh, that visual is just perfect. That's how I was imagining it in my mind.
I don't know who their graphic designer was that put that stuff together for the movie, but it was mind blowing. I mean, with the lines of, like, when suddenly she looked and she could see like all of the lines of conversations, and she could just, like, poke and then pull it out, and you could hear exactly what that line of conversation was. I was like, first time I watched it, I thought, oh, that's cool. I don't know who came up with that thought, if that was the writer or somebody else just threw it in there, but it was like, wow, that's really deep.
Wow. Brian is saying, oh, spoiler alert. Did I spoil it? I hope not.
Oh, I don't think we spoiled anything.
That's what Christine said. What movie? I'm talking about Lucy, but the other one is called
Lucy.
Limitless.
And it's been out for several years now.
No.
I mean, I don't think there's that many people. Well, I don't know. Maybe there are a lot of people that haven't seen it yet, but
I'm not a current.
Whenever I say it, they're like, "Oh yeah, I saw that movie." And so,
it's all brand new.
Really good, yeah. Hey, you get some good stuff. Not that I'm plugging Amazon per se, but it's kind of nice when you're an Amazon Prime member and you get
the free,
a couple months back. What was it? I guess right around Christmas, Gladiator 2 had just come out in the theaters like a couple of months before. And I was thinking, I'm not going to wait forever for it to come out on something that I can watch it, because I missed it in the theaters. And it builds off of the original Gladiator movie with Russell Crowe. And right around Christmas, Amazon Prime got it. And for their members, they ran it free for like a month. You could go in and watch it. And so that was like a brand new movie, and it was really good, y'all. If you like the original Gladiator movie, you're going to like this Gladiator too. It was really good. We're big movie freaks in my house. We've always, things just wrap around music. I don't know why. And oh, thank you, Sue. Sue gifted someone with a membership.
Oh.
Who got that membership? Let me see.
How can you tell who got the membership?
I gotta go over to my YouTube chat, and it will tell me who it got, because it's all done by the algorithm. It's not like you can pick who is getting it.
Oh, so. Really? I always learn stuff from you.
Oh, Denise McMullen received the gift membership. Awesome.
Nice.
Well, thank you, Sue, and welcome, Denise. And for everyone that's a member, if you haven't already done it, please send me your email address and put in the email your channel name if it's not the same as your real name, you know. That way I know when YouTube prints up my printout for members, sometimes I get the real name and sometimes I'll get a channel name, but it's like I don't know
Who's who?
it's who, so it helps tremendously. And I don't get emails. I just get, that they're a member and this is their YouTube channel.
Yeah.
But I don't get an email, so
Do you send out newsletters?
I send out for Zoom. We do a monthly Zoom members meeting.
Mm-hmm.
It's just if whatever happens in Vegas stays in Vegas is basically our concept for the members meeting. We just hang out, we talk, we chat, we do readings. Sometimes I'm doing the reading. Sometimes it's other members doing readings for other members. It just depends.
Nice.
It's just a time to just hang out and just get to know each other, like just a group of friends just hanging out. That's how we do our members meeting. And last month, our members meeting, we all got the shock, and I forgot that she had become a member, but we had Linda G showed up for the members meeting, and I was like, I forgot you were a member. She's like, yeah. She says, I finally was free when you had a meeting. I thought I'd pop in and see what's happening. So
nice.
Everybody was tickled pink because they got to just sit and talk with her,
Yeah.
It wasn't under any format. They could just chit chat. And then once a month I do a members only live stream. And so I like to send that information out directly to members. I ask for their emails, so that when I send the Zoom link for the meeting or let them know about the streaming live stream, I can send it directly to them, and then they'll it's easier. They don't miss it. Sometimes they may not see it in the chat or in the post page. I hate what they call that. I liked it better when it was community page. It's like, yeah, go check my post page for a post.
Yeah.
It's like, that doesn't work, guys. I mean, I don't know who came up with that, but yeah, no, let's not go there. And let's see. All right. I'm double checking, making sure I haven't missed any questions. And but there are a lot of really good cards out there, y'all, that have the meanings printed on the cards.
Mm-hmm.
You can get a decent deck on Amazon for like under $15. So it doesn't cost a fortune.
I think someone just downloaded my free ebook.
Oh, awesome!
I know. Oh, a couple of people did, I think.
Yay!
Yay! Yeah, a free ebook on. Thank you. That's great.
And now for the big news, do the drum roll. Debra's got a new book getting ready to come out.
It's coming out.
Now it's your turn to talk about your new book.
I finally finished. Oh my God, it took forever. At the end of it, I always say, this is hard, and it's hard. But that's the funnest part, is writing the book. It's the formatting and the adjustment and all that stuff, all the details. I just want to be creative, right? But it's called I Have Your Number, and the subtitle is A Funny Guide to Why People Drive You Nuts. And this is a dating and relationship edition. So now I'm going to work on the parenting edition. But it's all about numerology, life path numbers.
Yeah, I know my life path number is an 8. And then a couple of weeks back, you and Layla were doing something, and you were talking about you can get the number for like where you live, your residence.
Oh, yes.
And see if I don't remember what the concept was. I came in on the middle of it. I was
yes.
That's interesting. So,
but I
don't know how to figure that. So
I have on my website, I have article on how to figure it out. Like, for instance, you
Oh.
just take the numbers. Like, I live in a mobile home park, and the number is 221. So that's a 5. That's the energy of the whole park, which is restless, in and out, use
Yeah.
it for just summers or whatever. And then, but my particular house is a 7. I'm number 25. So it's a 7. So that's where my spirituality comes in. So it's like this, the seasoning on top is the 7. But it is true that when you move into a building that's a 5 energy, people are going to be more transient than it would be if it was an 8 or something like this, something a little more structured.
Okay. Yeah, I know you were talking about it, and I was like, oh, that's really interesting. And I don't know. I mean, I know the street number, I guess, for where I live. I'm in an apartment complex, which is huge. And so it's broken up into different sections. And depending on what section you're on, depends on what the name of the street is. And so it's like my street number address for my building,
Yes.
152.
1 plus 5 plus 2 is an 8. So that's, and you have, I bet you have housing security there. You're securing your housing.
Oh, yeah, yeah. We've got a security guy that drives around 24/7. And
but also, as far as,
and then my building is building 11. So 11 is a master number. So
that would be a spiritual thing.
And then my apartment number is 150. Did I say that wrong? What's my damn address? My street number is 103.
So that's 4. It's still good.
And then my building is 11, and my apartment number is 152.
That's the 8. So that's 2 really strong, steadfast numbers would ensure that you have housing security, where, in other words, that you're going to, if you choose to live there a long time, it's going to be there. It's going to catch you. Whereas with my park, it just sold. So we have new owners that may want to disrupt our peace here and make it something else. So I have this 5 energy right now in like housing insecurity.
Yeah, it's like the last apartment complex we lived in here in town. When I moved back to Louisiana, my mother was living there. I just moved into her apartment, and it had been owned by the diocese for decades, and it was based off your income. So your rent, I mean, there were some people that maybe paid $50 a month in their rent because they were living on Social Security or something. They didn't have anything else. And so the diocese based it off of people's income. And then we'd been there about 2 years, and they sold it. They decided to get out of messing with it. And someone came in and bought the complex. And in the beginning, they stayed with the same plan for rent. And then about 6-7 months into it, they changed it and said, when the lease renewal comes up, everyone will be charged according to the size apartment you're in. Your income won't have anything to do with it. Well, we lost probably half the tenants in the next month or two because people just couldn't afford to live there. And they stayed for like about a year, and then another company bought us who raised the rents even higher and ran around doing cosmetic upgrades on the apartments to make them look pretty, but they didn't really fix anything. And we went through, I think, a total of like 4 or 5 ownership the last 6 years that we lived there, and everyone that came in was like worse than the one before.
Did you remember the address, the numbers of the address?
Yes. It was oh crap, what was it?
I don't mean to stump you.
No, I just have to think about it for a minute.
Let's just be curious of oh, your mother's birthday is 11/11. I love that. Double digits. When she passed, I moved home to help with my dad.
Yeah, they've even changed the name of the complex now. 317 is the
So
number of the old
of
apartment. So
building
that's 4 and 7, that's 11, right?
3 plus 7 plus what? 4?
Yeah,
What was
317.
oh
317.
7?
So it'd be an 11.
That's an 11. So 11s, so there's two types of 11s, and we just had the good doctor here saying that about 11s. And there's two types of 11s. There's the 2911, we're talking more life path energy, which is very, if they can master their emotions, they can find great success. And then there's the 3811 that doesn't have as much struggle with the emotions. So if you find yourself moving into an 11 energy or in an 11 apartment, be mindful of your emotions when you decide to make big decisions. And for the longest time, Sherry, I am embarrassed to say this, but I thought intuition was emotion. So if I was very emotionally committed to something, that's my intuition talking to me. It's not. It's not that at all. Yeah. And so ever since I realized that, I was able to make better decisions.
Yeah.
Right? But I'm a 2911, so I know a lot about the 11s.
Yeah, I'm trying to see if I can
So
see what the old address, the old apartment number was. I don't remember.
so that, yeah, Rose Blue is an 11 complex, 50,
We were
24.
building B. I don't remember what the 317.
Well, the
I don't remember the apartment number for it.
all of that doesn't matter. I mean, you can make it matter. See, that's the thing. That's kind of the fun, bad part about numerology is that people will go down the rabbit hole and go into destiny numbers and harmony numbers and this number. And I don't do any of that. I stick to the basics, and I teach people how to add up the numbers. It's simple, easy peasy, and just leave it at that, and then explore the numbers. My book goes up to 55. The number because I met one life path 55 person. So I decided I'm going to write a chapter about that one person. But very rarely do you meet a 55. But make it simple and interesting, because if you go down each rabbit hole on numbers with the vowels of your names and stuff like that, at least this has happened to me.
I've seen stuff on that, and I'm like, okay, this is getting a little much. I mean,
yeah, and then if I have to learn that, I'm not going to do numerology. But believe me, your birthday just stands alone. It's easy. It tells you what your natural tendencies are. And you know what? We forget how cool we are. I mean, we forget that, let's say someone who's an artist, they forget that a lot of people don't know how to do art. And that's their superpower, and they forget it, and then they don't use it to the max. They don't embrace it and celebrate it, that kind of thing. So if you know what your natural desires are and traits are, that's one thing. Then you can dissect, like in the book, I'm going to dissect, well, is it a quirk or is it negotiable? That type of thing. So on your behavior, so you can decode the behavior, and then just understand the other person better. And believe me, this is a time to do that. Like I've done all our political leaders' numbers, and I can try and understand where they're going and what their most probable steps are going forward. And so, yeah, I don't know. I just stick to the basics. So I think people will move it into their lifestyle, and then use it on their own. Because for instance, one of the cool things about doing numbers is that you take your birthday and you figure out who you are. And then you take your family's birthday. And boy, that'll answer all these mommy, daddy issues and brother issues and sister issues. That it'll start answering questions when you know the numbers, right? Then your coworker, your family, you're the one you hate, the one you love. All of that comes through, and then you can understand their motivations, what their first impulse is. It's not just to piss you off. It's because they're wired a certain way, and numerology will give you a peek into that forbidden area. And people
Yeah, that makes a big difference.
Yeah, they don't
You understand their personality.
Yeah, they don't understand how to express themselves, and well, I am this, I am that, on a resume or something like that. It's hard to do that, and if you're able to reflect back someone's best self and recognize what they bring to the world that we cherish, that we revere, even though it comes easy for you, we need that information.
Yeah.
We need good nature. So that's what
I mean, that's what I mean. With all the psych classes and sociology classes I took in college, that's one of the things you learn, is that sometimes, people act and behave a certain way, not because they're trying to get under your skin, but just because that's their personality and just the way that their brain works.
Mm-hmm.
And then you add in whatever their experience was growing up.
Yeah.
And a lot of where their parents were at psychologically and emotionally can really affect where they come out at, because everything is going through that prism of what the parents taught or just had going on in the house. Yeah.
Yeah, I addressed that too. But the thing is that I decided to study the birthday numbers, which is the life path numbers, because I was working on a hotline where I was doing a lot of readings, and I always ask, what's your first name and birthday? So I have it on record they're over 18. That's the only reason why I asked their birthday.
Yeah.
And so I thought, well, I'm going to do something with this. Well, when I got into it, I read all the books, not all the books, but I read the books on what every life path means. But then I started putting it to the test, and I vetted those numbers, and sometimes those traits didn't follow through. And that's what I bring to, that's different in this book. But when if you're looking at a bridge and someone's going to jump, if you know their birthday number and their life path number, you will know exactly what to say in the moment to keep them from jumping. And that happened when I shared this, I haven't shared this before. I was doing my work, my job, and doing readings and things like that. And I didn't realize it at the time, but the next day my manager called me and she said, you saved a person's life. They called and actually expressed to us that he had the rope and the chair ready and I was the last. Wow. I was the last person he was going to try and figure out what to do in his life. Now, because I'm not saying I did or said anything different than anyone else, except that I knew how he was wired through his life path. And I was able to say, this is what you bring to the world. This is what nourishes the world and the people around you. You don't even realize it. Now, he didn't give any indication that he was like that, going to do that, which I appreciated. But even if he did, I would certainly.
Amanda asked, and 10 always reduces to 1. Is that correct?
Yes. And so, but here's another little filter, but don't think it's complicated. If you came up with a 10, the 0 means something. It's almost like a little extra intensity on the 1. So, like, for instance, I'm a 2911. My life lessons is 2 and 9. So I need to give up what doesn't work for me sooner than not. And I also have to master relationships. And when I do that, I move into the full potential of my 11. And that's when life gets much easier. You can tell I'm excited about it. My heart is beating. I just love the topic.
Yeah, I can remember all the way back in high school, and we're talking the 70s. And there were a few people that I knew, a few of the students, that I wasn't really friends with them, but we were in classes together or whatnot. And I know there were a couple of the girls that were like really into number stuff, and they would And so they would try to look for the numbers of everything and always asking everybody to figure out, and then they would sit and tell you stuff about yourself because of your number. And I remember thinking that was the wildest thing I'd ever heard. And I didn't know it was even a thing. I just thought it was something they were making up. It wasn't until years later that I realized it was just something they had taught themselves. It wasn't something they made up. And but there's so much power in numbers, just like there are power in words and how they are stated.
Yes.
With it, you got to take in the tonality of how something is said.
This is very important, what I want to share with you right this minute. And this is where I go against the grain. This is when my 11 comes out of the woodwork. There is a theory for generations, because you just reminded me, because in the 70s you had this number thing. There is a tradition that if the two numbers that equal your number, your life path number, if there's certain number, I'm not going to tell you what the numbers are, but those numbers are attached to karmic debt, and that is no longer true. If anyone is thinking they've got karma to work off because they were so bloody bad in a last life or this life, that is unjustified karma. Now we're in a new world, a new cycle. So I do not ever read about karmic debt. If you find a book that harps on that, which is basically telling someone your life is going to be horrible, and this is why I revolt against that.
Yeah, I've heard people talk about
it's ridiculous. Debt. So I did not address that like this in the book, but if anybody decides to research this and they start doing karmic debt, please don't pay it any mind. Please.
I've heard it, but I didn't know what it was or what it stood for. But yeah, I have heard of it.
It's basically that.
When I heard it, I always thought they were referring back to biblical scripture from the Old Testament, where it talks about the sins of the father will go down so many generations to the sins of the son. So the
even
son
that
is carrying,
ridiculous.
It's like, even so the son is like carrying some sin his great granddaddy did, and it's still on his head. And it's like, I remember the first time I read that in the Bible, and I thought, well, that's not very fair. I mean, how can you hold this guy accountable for something that 6 generations
back? Why we're in the spot we are in nowadays. This is why we're in the spot, because as soon as a kid's born, you're going to find out through the numbers or astrology, oh, they're a dark cloud under them, or they've got karmic debt. It makes my hair catch on fire, because everyone is a gift. And this is why I know that this karma is unjustified. And here's why I'm getting excited. Sorry if I'm going too much, but I feel when you finish this life, you have a life review, you have the orientation, you have the life review, you explore whatever you want to explore next. And then if you do want to reincarnate, then there's agreements we make with our team, our soul family, or whatever. But we are completely, it's the world card. When we go through our life review, it is done. It is done. And sure, you might have done something really awful. There was an agreement there. Let's say it's done and not hold it. I got to tell you, I've read women who are from Indian descent, who will stay in a horrible situation because it's their karma to work off. And I think it's just a game men play. I'm sorry. I think men say, oh,
not
no,
to you men that are in the chat, because
y'all
are wise and understand things.
The patriarchal idea of it. So it's up to us to change the verbiage around this. Take the ancients, that's good, numerology, astrology, and all that stuff, but dismiss the stuff that the patriarch has decided to put on everybody.
Exactly. Dr. Ann had I get that. She's our next guest at 3:30. I'm doing a show with Dr. Ann, so we get into quantum.
Listen in.
All kinds of fun stuff.
have agency or free will. I love that. I love that. And that's the kind of thinking that's going to bring us out of this situation we're in. It's the kind, you just feel free to dismiss stuff that's going to hold another person down, and you will go far in your practice too. But if you are able to know someone's birthday, if you're you better know it if you're an advisor, because you want everything on the up and up over 18 stuff. But then you can say the same answer. I'll have the same answer. Will that low down cheating daddy come back to me and live with me happily ever after? The answer will be the answer, whatever that is. But I will say it differently to the different life path numbers. So that you're able to get it, and there's no defense, there's no, but you don't understand. It'll be the right combination of words at the right time to serve them well.
Right. Yeah, that's, I think, as readers, especially when you're doing a private reading, I think that at least I have found, and it's only happened to me twice, where everything the cards are telling you, everything your intuition is telling you, what your guides are telling you, and you're answering their question and saying, okay, this is what the guides are saying, this is what the cards are saying, and it's no, but I can't do that. I mean, and they have an excuse for it, and then turn around and we ask you the same question again, phrased a little differently, and it's like, well, it doesn't matter how many times you rephrase it. Right. You're still going to get the same answer because it's still the same issue that you're dealing with.
But the thing, what you can go over that is say, oh, if you're defensive over this prediction or this situation, then what I can say is, from this point, it looks like life is synchronizing up this scenario, and it's not in alignment with what your idea is. Let's change the idea.
Yeah.
Change the word,
the idea of it.
Perspective. When you change perspective, you change action. When you change action, you change outcomes. So it just means, this is reading will tell you that life is saying, we've got to make some changes in your thinking first, and then we'll get to the promised land or whatever it is. So
yeah, that makes sense. And I know I just told y'all that at 3:30 I'll be hopping into a live with Dr. Ann, and then tonight for the slumber party, Selena, Essence of the Moon, who is also in the chat, will be my co-host for the slumber party. So
I'm honored all these people showed up.
We got all these folks here. So I want to jump to a few questions here. There's some where they're asking specifically about numerology stuff. So I'm going to just give those to you and shut up, because I don't know anything about it. I don't know what I'm talking about. But some of the other questions, I can throw a card on it and let you know. The first thing was from Louise Valentine. How many kids do you see me count? I drew an ace. That's one.
Yeah. I had read for her a long time ago, and so did Kaylee. Thanks, Holy Spirit. And it was 2. I think we both got 2. But
there you go. 1 to 2. That's what I'm getting. So, I mean, medicine has advanced to the point that women can have, children at a later date, and it's not as detrimental to their body as it was, say, 100 years ago. 100 years ago, you married off at 15 so you could get all your babies out before you turned 20 if you survived the childbirth, and then that way you didn't have to worry about it after that, per se, because your body just couldn't take it anymore. Well, now, the way medical stuff is now, I mean, we can, I know I've known women in their 50s that have babies, men in their 80s that are fathering babies. I'm sure they had help with a little blue pill, but still, they became a father at the age of 80 or 90. And it's like, how fair is that to the kid, though? Because you're not going to be around that long. But if we keep going with things, our life expectancy is considered to become longer, or we might 150, maybe the regular average age of people, that before they die off or whatever. And so it's just kind of one of those weird things with, okay. Acadian Proud has a question here. Why does it feel like some guides, etc., seem to mislead readers sometimes?
They're not there to tell you what to do. And maybe we're misreading their answers. And also, from the revelation of the reading, your client walks out thinking, okay, these are my next best steps. And it could mean that their bounty is out a little bit farther because it needs to sink into the new perspective. So I'm sorry about
Right.
And if you there have been so many, and I'm not saying you're doing this at all, but there have been so many people who have the ultimate yes or no, will or won't, and it leaves no room for choice on the other side. And so that person your client is always going to be choosing a different path or choosing as they go. And karma or any of that creation manifesting is a perfect system, and it changes with every choice. So for us to read as absolutes, it would appear to be misleading someone.
Okay, yeah, that makes a lot of sense, because I know oh my God, pop-ups like crazy.
What's going on?
Oh, I'm just trying to catch up in the chat here real quick. Some of the questions that I had already starred. Okay. CJM Connections can have an outlook for October. Well, of course you can. Well, of course you can.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it looks like Spirit wants to talk about your spiritual work for October. You're going to manage your stinking thinking. I got the old devil reverse. Sometimes this means it's worse. It's an obsessive compulsive thing that you're not letting go of. You know about it, but you're not letting go of. So that's the only wrench in this one. So all it does is tell me that you're going to have new ideas. These are fresh new ideas coming in because it's the Page of Swords, and so when this starts, the obsession starts, is because you have this new thought is going to bring in new options. 7 of Cups is all these new options, but you're not seeing all the options, and that's where our little devil comes in. So back up a little farther away from the thinking, the thoughts that are going to come in. Just be more of the observer with it instead of the one executing it, visualizing yourself doing it. You just step back and say, isn't that interesting? And visualize yourself doing it from a different perspective, just from the observer. And that will make sure that devil sits on the other side of the sofa, leaves you alone.
Here you go. Well, the first thing I do for you was the Chariot. And so, you're looking at things kind of moving ahead. Let's go. It's time for the next journey. It's time to get in the car. It's time to go. Let's rev it up and get going here. And then I pull the 6 of Cups, which tends to be nostalgia, wanting to reminisce how it was. Well, used to be we always did this, or this was always, this is how Christmas was always handled, or this is how, taking care of your bills was always handled. It's just that nostalgic view of things that you kind of want to go back to instead of moving forward. Like the Chariot just told you, it's time to get in the car and let's go. You're not going backwards, you're going forwards. And then I got the Death card, which, don't freak out, that's not bad stuff. It just means old things have to die away so that the new things can come into your life and lead you forward into what your future outlook should be. So I think for October, you're being told it's time to get a move on. Don't waste any time. And, it's okay to reminisce, but don't let it take over everything. It's a new era. And then the death card just symbolizes that it's time to let go of the old crap so that the new crap can come in
New crap.
and get you moving right along,
We need new crap.
Yeah, it's time for new crap, y'all. It's almost a new year, and hopefully maybe we'll be lucky and we'll get new crap starting with getting rid of the old crap in the White House.
Yep.
And okay, Acadian Proud has a question. She's a member.
Okay.
How does the next few months look for me? Okay.
Oh, Spirit says that you first card out is going to be the topic, which is I've got Pentacles. So we're talking about everything organic, everything that's tangible. The first card from that starts the reading, and it looks like you have got some powerful, powerful major cards. Ooh, I just saw one. 3 major cards coming up. And we're talking about the next few months. You are going to be well cared for, because we've got the highest, the priestess, right? Now, she doesn't tell you everything. She's not your entire ladder to enlightenment, but she will tell you valuable things in the moment to help you make your next steps. And there are going to be solid steps. I've got the Emperor right after. And all the while you're thinking outside the box with the Hanging Man. I've got your help here coming in the form of a loving man. If it's a real live person, it'll be someone older than you or someone that you respect as older than you with wisdom. And he's going to be really good. And you're going to be able to focus. Now, usually, so the reversed 4 of Cups is actually kind of better than the upright. The upright means you're indifferent, you're missing details. Turn it upside down and you're seeing details. So I see this next few months coming up really good for you, because you're going to be able to see things clearly, do good action towards it, and then reap the bounty. Bravo.
Well, the first thing I started with was the 5 of Swords. So there have been some people in your life that have kind of been a bully, trying to make you toe the line the way, my way or the highway kind of person. And that's not a productive or cohesive plan of action. Everybody has to be willing to give a little in order to get a little. It's that compromise that you're working with. And then I got the 2 of Wands, which is talking about waiting for those results to come in. Whatever it is you've been working on, there may be a question about it, or maybe there were options, option A, option B, which way do I go? So I think deep down you're making decisions already. And this is just telling you, okay, now it's time to sit back and wait to see what results are going to come in over these questions, or over the work that you're doing, or the people that you're dealing with. Whatever the situation is, it's time for you to just kind of step back and say, okay, this and this and this has happened. This and this and this decisions have been made. And now I've got to just wait for the results and see what comes out. Because sometimes you don't want to jump in with more stuff, because that just messes up the works. So you want to let it kind of percolate, I guess would be a good way of putting it. And then I got the 10 of Pentacles. And that's kind of like leaving your mark, leaving your legacy. Looking at retirement, maybe even an inheritance. I know you've been at the job you do for a really long time and you're really good at it. Just personal conversations that we've had, and retirement is near. So it may be time for you to look at, should I go ahead and retire this year? Can I hold out for another year? That could be part of what you're waiting on. is when am I going to retire? Now, next year,
Oh,
5
18
years down
months.
the road. So, you know, you're waiting for this question to be answered, but no one can answer that for you but you and how you're feeling. You know, if you feel like, yeah, I got another couple of good years in me to keep going, then keep going. And if you're at the point where you're like, you know what, I'm just tired of this BS and I'm ready to call it a day, and it's not going to put you in the poorhouse, I would retire in New York second. I am so ready to retire, y'all, and I still got a few years to go before I can hit that button. Um, so I hope that helps, Katie. And that's that can be a little overwhelming sometimes. Okay. I know I had a couple of number questions. Oh, okay. This was also from Acadian.
Does a 2
Does a
and
2 and 9 that reduce to an 11, does that reduce to 11, 2, or 29?
it reduces, you add the 2 and the 9 together, and that gives you an 11, and you stop there because it's a master number.
Right. If it
So
wasn't a master number that it reduced to, then you would reduce that down to a
yeah, there's
single.
only one number that does that now with our age group in the era we're living in, and that's 39. So you get a 39, it's a 12, you reduce the 12 again and make it a 3. I say reduce, but you add it, you know, you one, but you add it to a single, reduce it to a single.
Cool. All right, Ruby Moon. My number is reduced to a 9. Will I be okay?
Of course you will. I
Yeah.
mean, you're one of the oldest souls on the planet, my dear. Oh gosh. And so
There you go.
one of the things that when you see trouble coming, this is one of the hardships of a 9. When you see trouble coming, you know you have the answer to whatever that trouble is. But it's getting other people to orchestrate the answer because you know it well. And that's where your frustration, I'm not saying controlling people, but it's so frustrating to know the best for someone and then have them not do it. Right. So
Yeah.
also you're in a 9 universal, everyone's in a 9 universal year. So what happens to a 9, the tendency is for legacy, you buy things that will last. You buy whatever amount of money you can spend maximum on something so it will last. And you think of things of how, in other words, I'm going to save this item because someone might need it. And then I can be the hero and pull it out of my hat. This one thing they've needed. So that's how your mind, that's how you serve. And that can be overwhelming at time. But no, a 9 life path is remarkable. You know who else is a 9? Tarot Stash.
Oh, yeah. Gerald's a 9. That's right.
Tarot is 9. Yeah. Very creative, structured.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
All right. Thank you, Ruby Moon. I hope that helps. Let's see. Dr. Surfer Chick. That's a new name.
Yay.
Welcome. I like that name. Dr. Surfer Chick. Yeah, that's cool. And is asking, okay, my company is restructuring. Will I be reporting to the new SVP or stay under the same VP? Will it be better? And she's a Sag, Virgo rising, Scorpio moon. Wow.
So I'm going to read this way because we have to form a box around the question. We've got the description, but the main question is, will I see? Will it be better? So I'm going to answer that first, and that's yes. So at first, however you're feeling right this minute, let's say you're comfortable with under the same VP. It feels to me that there might be some restructuring. There is that strong option. And, but if you think outside the box, it's going to be better for you. So I'm not going to tell you where you're going to be, because that means I need to read the new supervisor, the old VP, and then management above that. I'm reading you, though. I'm going through your eyes and your experience. So it looks like to me, it feels like there might be some change. I've got the Wheel of Fortune upright, which is very good. And I also have thinking outside the box telling me that if it's something new, you're going to have to move into that energy. So I'm predicting that you may have to change this, the upper management might change, but it's going to be good.
Cool. All right. Well, I got the first thing that came out was the Justice card. And so this is kind of a give or take, a win-win solution. So I don't think it really matters if you report to the new or stay under the old. I think either way is going to be a win-win for you. That's what I'm picking up. Will it be better? I'm feeling like that's kind of an iffy part, because I pulled the Three of Swords. So there's going to be some things that are going to be kind of heartbreaking for you, because you don't want to give that up, or you don't want to lose that person, or, whatever the situation may be. So there's going to be a little heartache involved in this, and that's okay. Feel it, name it, claim it, and move on with it. You don't want to drag that baggage into a new situation. And then I got the Eight of Cups, which is talking about withdrawal, retreating. Sometimes it helps if you just kind of step back and just let things play out and see how it's going to work. Maybe they'll give you an option of, would you prefer to work for the new person, or would you prefer to stay under the old person? Maybe you'll be given the choice of, well, we're going to put you with the new SVP, and then 6 months from now, we'll come back and we'll reevaluate and see, are you more efficient with the new person? You get along with the new person. You're not rubbing each other wrong. And then that way you would know whether you want to go back to the old or stay with the new. I think that's the biggest thing I'm picking up here, is just a little bit of a retreat, a little bit of a heartbreak. But then you take it and you just kind of take that extra look and be like, okay, should I move forward or stay where I'm at? And maybe you'll even be given the opportunity of negotiating that part of it. Say, I'll go work with the new SVP under the caveat that 6 months from now we can come back and rethink this and see if it's more efficient for me to stay with the new, or would it be better if I go back to the old person? So, and by old person, I don't mean like an old person. I mean somebody that's been there for a while. Because who knows, the new person may be the old person in the group. So, but I think it's, I think the most important thing I picked up from this was just kind of take that step back and just kind of wait a minute. There's always a little bit of heartbreak anytime something new comes in, especially with a job. And there's a big shakeup because nobody knows what's going to happen next. And so usually it's better to kind of take a little bit of a chill pill and just hang back and see how it all plays out. That's the biggest thing I'm getting. And I mean, I know Sag that's kind of a go-getter, Sagittarius. My mother was a Sagittarius. She ran circles around all of us. And it was amazing. It was like, don't you ever get tired? And she would just go, go, go. And then Scorpio moon, I don't know what I know Scorpios can be very easy to get along with until you piss them off, and then boy, that stinger comes out. So, maybe keep your stinger in check until you
Yeah,
had
but it's like
that.
she's so competent. Virgo rising.
Yeah, I know. It's like I'm looking at this thing
Competent. They'd be
and
lucky to
thinking,
get.
damn, I think
Yeah.
you're going to do good in either situation.
Mhm.
At this point, I would say,
Both ways.
you're going to have to decide what works best for you. And maybe you can do well, let me try it out for 6 months here. If this doesn't work, I'll go back to where I was at, and I know it works. So that's just an option for you. So
There's someone saying time check, Sherry, time check.
time check. Yeah, we've got 20 minutes before I go meet Dr. Ann. So
I thought it
that
was
gives
3:30.
us at 3:30, and that's in 20 minutes.
Okay.
Or that's in 3:30. That's in 12 minutes. So
12.
okay, we got time for one more question, and then we'll wrap it up. And
I also
is there
want.
anything in the starred sections that you would like to read on?
Oh, I haven't had my glasses on, but one thing I'd like to share. I forgot to put the name of my channel down here. It's at Grow Your Light, and also I'm starting another channel called I Have Your Number. So at I Have Your Number.
Yeah,
So,
okay. Oh wait, I gotta add that.
that'll be teaching numerology and all about numerology and how it can benefit you.
At I Have Your Number, or just at Have Your Number?
No, I Have Your Number. It's the same as the book.
Okay.
The book title.
I'm writing it down so I can go in after the show and add that to the description box for those that come in and watch after the fact, and so that I can go in and subscribe to the new channel myself. So y'all make sure you go and subscribe
I
to
appreciate that so much.
Debra's channel. And
Participating much.
all right. All right, let's go with Ruby Moon here, because that's a pretty much a yes or no.
To move
That's a pendulum question.
by
so.
December. Let me just see one more thing.
Oh, you're welcome, Ruby Moon. That was Debra explaining the number 9. I don't know anything about numerology. I'm learning because I'm reading her stuff, but it takes a while sometimes for me.
So I get mixed messages on that. You have to think way outside the box to be able to move that apartment.
Well,
What did you get?
Well, Ruby Moon moved to an apartment in October.
No, December.
No. Yeah, no. Ruby Moon moved to an apartment in November. No. Will she move in December? Yep, it just changed directions on me, so that's a yes. So you're getting a yes for December. So it's not going to be before. Maybe you'll find the right place and get all the legal paperwork done before then, and then you'll be able to start moving in December.
And yes, Spirit is pointing to family and old friends. I have 2 decks, and so I did 2 readings. So the 6 of Cups in one and the 10 of Pentacles in the other. So I think you're where to move and how to get the best price. Somebody around you is going to help you with that.
There you go. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, thank y'all. I'm sorry we couldn't get to everybody's questions. I'm getting ready to pop over and do a live with Dr. Ann. If you're got another hour and a half to kill, join me over there, and you can throw your question in if that works. If not, come back for the slumber party tonight and just say, hey, you couldn't get to me earlier, will you answer my question?
Nice.
We try to do those first.
Of
Since
course.
you asked earlier in the day, then I'll try to get to it first thing
Oh.
in the slumber party so that everybody can get their questions answered. And I keep going until I literally fall out on camera. And I start zoning out, and then I look at the chat, and there'll be like 10 people saying, Sherry, it's time to go to bed.
I love that.
They quite literally do that to me. So
That's so fun.
So thank y'all very, very much for coming today. Thank you, Deborah, for coming on.
Pleasure. Thank you so much.
As soon as your book is hitting the decks, let me know, and we'll come back and do another run on it.
I appreciate that.
And then as soon as it comes out, so I can get it and go put a review in on it.
I appreciate that too. All those reviews.
That helps.
Oh,
Those
man,
reviews do help very, very much. So
yes.
y'all have a great afternoon. Enjoy the rest of your weekend if I don't see you again this weekend. And we will see you soon.
Thank
Bye for
you.
now.
Bye.